What's up? Hello! Welcome back to my channel. Today we are bringing back the monthly wrap-ups, the monthly TBDs, and that stands for to be determined if you're new here. So I'm very excited. We're going to talk about the books that I read in February as well as what I plan to read in March. So, do you have a good little book stack here? Did we read all of these in February? No way, no how. Mama was getting out of a reading slump. But these are the books that I read in February along with the books that I want to read in March. This is really heavy. I'm gonna put this down. I thought it would be best to just combine these videos because I read 2 books in February and started 1. And then I'm just doing a little math, 2, 4. And there are 6 books on here that I want to complete in the month of March. I thought, why not combine them? That goes together like peanut butter and jelly, macaroni and cheese, you and me, period. Lame loser. Okay, anyway. So we are going to start with the books that I read in February. And again, I have been in a hellified reading slump. So I am very excited that I completed 2 books. That is great for me. I went into this year not wanting to set a reading challenge goal for myself. And I think it's really, really working out because there's no pressure. I don't feel like I need to have a reading wrap up of 15 plus books every month, which I did feel like that at times last year. And this is just me. I mean, everyone has their own thing. Everyone has their own processes. Everyone has their own motivations. That did not motivate me, and my goals are just different. So the first book I read, which is actually an ARC, and it is on sale May 13th, is 1 and 4 by Lucinda Berry. Lucinda Berry is my favorite author, and she sent me an ARC of her newest book. In this book, we're following a doctor. I believe she is a psychiatrist. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize. Oh, I didn't even see this note. She's, KK, here's hoping you hammer the hell out of this one. I didn't even realize she wrote in this. I literally picked this thing up and I was like, page 1, let's go. Well, how did I not see that? How? I am weak and I am floored. I am so embarrassed as well. Like, it was like, how did you sneak into my house and write this after I read it? Because how did I not see this? How did I not see this? Okay. Anyway, we are following a doctor who is serving as a therapist for these troubled teens who are actually on a reality show. Now, this reality show is really wild because they put these child stars in a house and they are struggling with addiction, whether it is drug addiction, alcohol dependency. Some of them have anger issues. Some of them have self-harm. Putting them in a house and recording them 24/7 while they go through this addiction recovery program. We're following the doctor who is in charge of this program. One of the patients in this house passes away. It's very mysterious. We don't really know. We do find out, obviously, what happens to her. But if you've read any of Lucinda Berry's books, you know this is full of trauma. You know this is full of trauma. It is unhinged. And the ending absolutely shocked me. I could not believe what I was reading. Something is going on here, and this doctor is right in the middle of it. I actually gave this 4 stars. I wanted just a little bit more at the end. And this book is very short. It's 230 pages, and I felt like I could have used like 50 more pages. That would have still kept it under 300. I could have used like 50 more pages. There were some things in this book that I felt like weren't super fleshed out, or I kind of wanted to be explored more. I've never rated a Lucinda Berry book under 4 stars, and this did not change that. So, this is crazy. There's a police investigation. There are things obviously going on behind the scenes. This therapist is like, this was like my favorite patient. What happened? So she's trying to get to the bottom of it. Things are just so crazy, and I loved it. This actually made me cry. There was a line in this book. There was a line in this book that absolutely incinerated me from the inside out. If you've ever struggled with grief, I think it's something you can appreciate. But anyway, this is the first book that I read in the month of February. Now, the second and last book, you guys saw me reading this, is My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyin Khan Braithwaite. And this was also a 4-star read. I'm going to have to reread this. This one was also very short. Oh, wow. This is about the same amount of pages. Wait. This is 223 pages long, and 1 in 4 is 229. So, not exactly the same amount, but almost. But this story is following this nurse. Her name is Corday, and she has a younger sister, Iola. Corday is the older sister, and if you're an older sister, you'll understand this. Like, her job is to take care of her younger sister. Now, the issue is we are set in Nigeria, and colorism is a huge theme in this book. And Corday is the older sister. She's taller, she's darker skinned, she's a little bit slim figured. Her younger sister, Iola, is shorter, she's lighter skinned, she's got the curvy full figure. And everyone is in love with Iola. No one likes Corday in a romantic sense. And that is something that Corday is struggling with. And you'll see when you read this, like, everyone throws it in her face. Like, she is very obviously treated differently than her sister. Like, her sister is a serial killer. Her younger sister is a serial killer. My sister, the serial killer. And she has offed multiple men, which I'm mad at it. I support women's rights. And I also support women's wrongs. Now, in this sense, I don't know if that statement rings true, because I hated every single freaking character in this book. Every single one can go, except, nope, him too. After Iola makes these insane decisions, she calls up her sister to help clean up her mess. Now, let's backtrack to when I said Corday's job is to take care of her sister. Corday always answers the call, always cleans up the mess. And we are just kind of exploring that dynamic. This is a story of colorism, a story of family dynamics and loyalty. Abuse is a big theme in this book. Obviously, there are some really romantic aspects of this book, especially because there's a man that Corday works with at the hospital that she is in love with. He wants nothing to do with her. He sees her as a friend. He sees her sister and falls in love. He and Corday's sister start dating. Child, let me move my bang. What? This is the most unhinged book I've ever read. It was so freaking fun. It's super short. The chapters are like a page. I think the longest chapter was maybe like 4 pages long, maybe. I actually listened to it on audio through the Libby app, which is connected to your library. So if you want to explore this book and you love an audiobook, I would suggest looking there first. But I had to get a physical copy because I actually checked it out from the library and listened to it through the library, but I loved it so much, I wanted to give it a physical copy. I gave it a 4 because, again, the ending left a little bit to be desired. There was a part in there that I really wanted to be fleshed out a little bit more, and that was, like, there's a big, like, happenstance at the end, and then we just kind of go into the next scene, and I'm just kind of like, wait, what happened, though? Like, I need more answers to that situation. If you've read it, you probably agree, maybe? I don't know. At least you probably know what I'm talking about. But really enjoyed this book. I definitely want to read more from her. And I kind of want a sequel. Even though, again, hated everyone in this book. You all suck. All right. So those are the 2 books that I read in the month of February. And I am just happy to be reading. I do want to talk about a book that I began in February, but before I do that, I have an announcement. And the announcement is that I have a new and improved book club. I had a book club through Fable, and I think I mentioned this in my last video, but I had a book club through Fable, and I wanted a place where I could interact more with my book club members, and I decided and launched a new book club with Patreon, which I am so excited. It is called Hammer Time Book Club. Of course, I will link it down below. I know you have questions. I will answer them. Question number 1 that I know is on everyone's mind, is it free? There is a free option. Yes, and the free option is going to be very similar to what you would have gotten if you were in my Fable book club. You can vote on the book club pick. We have a chat where you can discuss all the book club pick things, and you'll get my book review. So that is a free option. There are also 2 membership options that are available. They're $3 a month and $8 a month. If you're interested in some more exclusive interactive content, you will find that there. There are live streams, there are reading vlogs, there are member shout outs, there are newsletters, there are reading cover challenges, which is really fun. So if you're interested in joining or exploring more in detail what we have to offer, I will leave the link in the description. So make sure you head over to Patreon and have a little look-see. And with that, I am excited to announce that our March book club pick that was voted on was Good Dirt by Charmaine Wilkerson, which I am very excited about. I obviously already have a copy, so I was excited to not have to buy anything. But this book is a historical fiction / mystery book, which is very exciting. I'm gonna read a little bit of the synopsis, and honestly, this cover and the colors, gorgeous. Now, Charmaine Wilkerson, her covers are always stunning. So this tagline says, "Sometimes the only way forward is to look back." When 10-year-old Abby Freeman heard the gunshot, time stopped. When she saw her brother Boz on the floor, surrounded by shattered pieces of a treasured heirloom, her life felt shattered as well. The crime was never solved. Ever since, the Freemans, one of the only black families in a well-to-do enclave in New England, have dreaded becoming the center of another media frenzy. But when now grown, Abby's high-profile romance falls apart, that's exactly what happens. Abby flees to France, only for her past to follow. As she processes the shock, she begins to think of the other loss her family suffered that day. The stoneware jar that has been in her family for generations, brought north by an enslaved ancestor. Soon, Abby realizes that the handcrafted piece held more than just her family's history. It might also be the key to claiming a new future. So that is so interesting. I haven't read a bunch of historical fiction. I love the mystery aspect because one of my favorite books from last year was The God of the Woods by Liz Moore, and that was historical fiction mystery, like a historical mystery, and I loved it. So I'm excited to explore that genre a little bit more. And that is one thing that I love about this book club. It's a multi-genre book club, and there's a few reasons for that. One being, I want everyone to be able to read from a genre that they already love and feel secure and safe in and want to explore more books in that genre. But I also want people to be able to expand their genre taste, me included, because if it were up to me, I'd read a horror thriller all day, baby. I mean, right? So I'm excited to dive into this. So again, if you are interested in this book, interested in a book club, or just want to see what we have going on, head over to Patreon. We have a lot of fun things planned and going on there. So this is the first ever Patreon Hammer Time Book Club book pick, which I think is going to be a good one. Now, there is a fantasy series that I began in February, and I want to talk about that because March is like a big month for this series because a new book in the series is dropping like in 2 days. That is the Legendborn cycle, which I am so excited to dip into because I'm not a big fantasy girly, but I fear that might be a mistake. So I am in the middle of Legendborn right now. I am 266 pages in. As you can see, your girl's been annotating. I don't want to, you probably can't. Just trust me, bro. I've been really enjoying my time. There are times when I feel like I'm studying for a biology test reading this book. Like, the notes on this page are just astronomical. I do not annotate. I was anti-annotation for a long time. There was no way I could follow what was going on here. This magic system is super complex. There are words in here that I didn't even know like the letters could go together to make a sound. So I'm having a great time. I'm having a great time. So obviously this is a fantasy. It's a YA fantasy. The main character is YA, but there are many adult figures in this book. So I guess it's technically characterized as YA. And I don't know you know, this is a series. I don't know the age progression here, so I don't know if Bree, who's the main character, if she becomes an adult during this time or not, but some legacies are meant to be broken. After her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants nothing to do with her family memories or childhood home. A residential program for bright high schoolers at UNC Chapel Hill seems like the perfect escape until Bree witnesses a magical attack her very first night on campus. A flying demon feeding on human energies. A secret society of so-called legend-born students that hunt these creatures down, and a mysterious teenage mage who calls himself a Merlin and who attempts and fails to wipe Bree's memory of everything she saw. I'm not going to read anything more, but this is giving me everything that I need it to give. So I am definitely going to be completing this in March, which I'm very excited about. I'm like almost exactly halfway through, so I'm really enjoying this one, which leads me to the fact that I need to read Bloodmarked as well, which is the sequel to Legendborn. And I'm not going to read the back because I'm probably going to spoil something. And the newest release that is coming out in a couple of days, I have Oathbound, which I have the Book of the Month copy, of course, because I get all the Book of the Month selections early, which is so fun. This book, look, if this book ever fell on my head, who's gonna run my YouTube account? Which one of y'all is gonna take over my YouTube account? Because I would be a goner. My neck snapped. This book is over 600 pages. And that leads me to my next point. I don't know that I will be able to finish all these books in the month of March because honestly, just between these 4 suckers right here, I might not even make it. But I really want to catch up and read as much of the Legendborn cycle as I can. Of course, I won't read the synopsis of Oathbound either because I don't even know what happens in Legendborn yet. I don't even know how that ends. But I am in a little bit of a conundrum because as you can see, I have 2 paperbacks and a Book of the Month hardcover, which I believe Bloodmarked is a Book of the Month option as well. Don't think Legendborn is. And I like a matching set. And I know a lot of you do too. So I have a little bit of a conundrum. Do I want to wait for the Oathbound paperback to come out? Which that could be Lord knows how long. Or do I just want to buy them all in hardcover? I don't have money like that. I don't know. Words are coming out, but there are no thoughts or consideration or concepts of thoughts and consideration coming, leading into the words. That's a little bit of a conundrum. And I know if I asked y'all, you'd be like, just buy every single copy of the Legendborn cycle you see. Just buy it. Doesn't matter. I agree. And don't say anything to me if you see these bookshelves and see that I have 8 different copies of this series. I don't know. But I do want to get up to date with the Legendborn cycle. And to end off the month, I think I'm going to need something light, quick, and fast. Because I'm reading from 2 genres that I don't normally read from. Fantasy and historical fiction, mystery. So in order to kind of offset that, I really want to finish my Riley Sager catalog, or just Riley Sager's catalog of books, and that would be Final Girls and Survive the Night. These are the only 2 that I haven't read that are out so far. He has a new one coming out this summer, so I want to get caught up on his entire catalog before that. And these are always super quick and fun to read, and the audiobooks are normally pretty good. House Across the Lake, I'm looking at you out of my eye that's in the side of my head. That one wasn't good, but the other ones I've really enjoyed. So we have Final Girls. I mean, it's a thriller. Do I need to say what it's about? So I have Final Girls, which we're following a group of Final Girls. It's like a club, which are basically survivors of massacres. And do you really want to be in this club? It's not like the Hammer Time Book Club where it's all fun and daisies and rainbows. This is like there's a lot of trauma and probably PTSD and anxiety attached to being in a club like this. But one of the women who's a part of this club mysteriously dies. And now we're trying to figure out, are people trying to pick off all the final girls? Because if that is happening, that's crazy. But anyway, we have Quincy, who, if you've read Riley Sager, you know Quincy's got to get to the bottom of something. And so we'll see. I just know that this is going to be a fun, quick read. It's about 330 pages. So I think this will be a good palate cleanser after all the heaviness and brain power I'm going to have to use for the other books. And we also have Survive the Night. This is set like in the 90s, which I love. It's November 1991. Nirvana's in the tape deck. George H.W. Bush is in the White House. And movie-obsessed college student Charlie Jordan is in a car with a man who might be a serial killer. I love this because I love everything 90s. I am a 90s baby. And I am not opposed to ripping this book in half if I even see or sense a smartphone. I need VHS tapes. I need Xerox machines. Like, I need to feel immersed in the 90s, and that is what I'm really hoping for with this book. So again, something that I think could be a bit of a palate cleanser, and we're gonna finish Riley Sager's catalog. I'm very excited. Again, these are the books that I read in February, and these are the books that I plan to read in March. I normally would like pick a favorite book from the month of February, but these are both, they're not equal, but I don't think I loved one more than the other. I would reread both. I would recommend both. This one was, I think I would probably pick this one for my favorite just because of how unhinged it was. It was funny. You never knew what was going to happen next. I love that I hated all the characters, but I was still able to enjoy the story and love the book. So this one is probably my favorite from the month. And what I'm most looking forward to in March, I'm trying to decide, probably my Legendborn journey, just because this is something that's completely out of my comfort zone and I wasn't really expecting to be enjoying it as much as I am. So anyway, let me know what your favorite book from the month of February was and what you're planning on reading in March. I am just praising the Lord that I was able to read. I am just happy I was able to read. We're back on track. Basketball season is coming to an end. This is our last week. So prepare to be sick of me. Period. All right, let me know what else you want to see from me. Don't forget to check out my book club. I hope you have a blessed day, blessed night, blessed life. And you know what's coming next. Get out. Don't make me, because I will do it. This book may be oath-bound, but I might use this book to bound you to the wall right there behind you. Bound you is crazy. But I'm serious, get out. Because I will swing. And I don't miss, baby. I don't miss. Get out. March. Get it? Because it's the month of March. March your tail out of my room. Get out right now. Oh, you're still there? You said I'm not going? Man, y'all are hard-headed. Y'all are hard-headed. And I would hate to ruin this brand new, beautiful hardcover on your hard head. So I'll go. Once again, always bend to your will. There is going to come a time where you're going to get out of here. And I know that about you. And is that time today? Obviously not. I want to say sorry, but sorry indicates that you're like not going to do it again. And I don't want to make any promises that I can't keep. So I'm just going to go. I'm going to march. What was that? Bye.